What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty video. The POTM set came out yesterday. We have 95 Carlos Correa. I finished it last night on stream, so we're going to go over the fastest and the cheapest way that you can get this done, because I got it done pretty painstakingly. It wasn't very difficult for me, so I'm going to get you guys all the tips that I have from completing it myself. But of course, before we get into this one, make sure to leave a like down below on this video if you guys do enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet. We got Carlos Correa gameplay coming out later today. It was quite insane. It is very cool what went on in that game, and let's go ahead and hop into it. So of course, the first thing that some people still don't know is you do have to, everything is on a per stage basis. So the Brandon Crawford moments only give you progress in stage 1. You can only get and you can't move on to stage 2 until you get this Brandon Crawford card. So all the moment challenges, I didn't find any of them that difficult. Once again, dashboard, I'm not going to go full in detail, but basically if you're in a multi-game moment, if you're not going to get it done your last game, you're 2 hits away, just simply press the PlayStation button, close application, head back in. You're gonna be where you started, so you don't have to start over from square one. In general, with Brandon Crawford, I would usually recommend on the lower difficulties power swing. This is veteran difficulty. He has a lot of contact, which is actually what changes your inner PCI this time. Big misconception that I've been proven wrong with. Vision is the outer cone, contact is the inner cone. So you're gonna have a huge PCI. Brandon Crawford power swing with him. Again, those multi-game moments. This one is kind of difficult, 2 extra base hits. What you want to do, I'll quickly hop into it. This goes for all things like this. If you're not getting an extra base hit your first at bat, you might as well just restart, because there's no point on making it harder on yourself, adding more stress, raising your blood pressure, and just making things more difficult. If you don't get it on the first at bat, just restart the moment and wait until, keep going until you actually get one on your first at bat, because that's the way it's going to keep momentum going. So simply first at bat right here. If I do not get it, once again, look at how big this PCI is, even lefty on lefty. It's a base hit, and this goes for the extra base or the tally total bases. If you only get a single, if you're not doing well the first time, just restart. There's no point of keep going. Otherwise, I don't find any of the other Brandon Crawford moments difficult. You just have to zero in. Power swinging is your friend. Remember, here's where you kind of get to pick and choose what you want to do. You can get 15 of the 25 necessary points from all the moment challenges for all the stages. You can max it out with the exchange. You can do a couple offline things, play the Giants on All-Star and get 10 ribbies with the Giants, or you could do one of the online variations, 10 hits online with Giants. I did the exchanges because it goes the quickest. I wanted to get it done faster. It's all up to you. This is the cheapest way that you can get the exchanges with the same time, not making it take forever. I can't show you within there because well, simply I've already did it, so it doesn't let you go back in there. So I'll just show you within the team affinity stuff. For Brandon Crawford and for all of them, you need their specific position or their team. So for Crawford, shortstops and or Giants players, I usually find the position is going to be cheaper, but always check. And if these exchange values remain consistent, there's 2 things I recommend. Go for 72 overalls or 77s. That's what I recommend. If you do 72 overalls, I believe you need 35 of them. So it is, you know, it's a good amount. But if you do 77s, you are going to need at 3013, you're going to need, I believe, 18 and change. And again, you're probably going to have some progress already made on these. You're going to have some cards left or over in your binder. That's how it was for me. Overall, these do vary by position and by stage. Some are more expensive than others, and this inevitably is going to drop in price. Give it a week, this is going to be probably cut in half from what it is right now. It depends on how fast you want to get this card. If you don't want to do exchanges, you can do the offline stuff, for example. But the 77s, for example, for you to look at, 602 stubs for an Elvis Andrus. At his price currently, 602, put in a buy order, also 636, right around that range for 77. It is a little over 6,000 50,000 that you're going to need after buying, it is not 18 of them, actually. Let me do some quick math. So you need 35,000 exchange points for any of the stages, and divided by 3013, and you actually need 11.6. So 11 and probably change that you have in your binders, so it is approximately a little bit above 6,000, as you can clearly tell, 6 times 11. So not bad at all, and it's going to be a little bit cheaper, marginally cheaper if you go with 72s, for example. You could get like an Addison Russell. It only goes for 144, and 144 times 35 is going to be 5,000 stubs, so you're probably going to save 1 to 1.5k stubs. It really depends what you're looking for, how fast you want to get it done, but that is the cheapest and most efficient way to get these exchanges. Like the pitchers are a bit cheaper because there's just so many of them, but I did the exchanges. That's what I would recommend. It depends how fast you want to get him. Going on to the other stuff, the Hector Nearest moments, you guys are incredibly easy. I'm not even going to talk about it. They're all very, very easy to do. In general with him, I recommend just throwing, you know, fastballs in splitters, and they are completely off balance. Once again, same thing goes. This time you can play and get hits with the Crawford. This is what I would definitely recommend doing the exchanges, because it's going to be a lot tougher and it's going to take a lot longer to do this stuff, and you could probably play Showdown and get these stubs back anyway. So you're also earning stubs within here. I think you get like 12 packs and a good amount of stubs, so that's another reason why I would kind of recommend the exchanges. And now that you have to get 10 hits, not just with, or 10 ribbies with Giants, which is easier because you get many at-bats with him. You can have a whole team full of Giants. Just having Brandon Crawford, that could take like 3, 4, 5 full games, depending on how good you do with him. Getting on to stage 3, Dietrich can be a bit difficult. Power swing again. I was doing this in stream. I wasn't power swinging. Somebody asked, Gomes, are you not contact swinging? Good Christ, why would I be doing that? Are you X swinging or power swinging with Dietrich? And I'm like, I'm X swinging. And all of a sudden, I started power swinging, just breezed right through them when I was having difficulties. So 2 extra base hits, they can, you know, be a bit difficult at times, just in general with how the game is. Remember, the meatball method still does work with in-moment challenges. We've talked about that a bunch. If you need further clarification, I will assist you, but basically the premise is you go here, you turn on tutorial tips, batting tips, and you're going to get a fastball right down the middle. And also, a lot of people, including myself, can find it very easier to put hitting on directional, especially on low difficulties where you just need 1 home run, because all you have to do in that case, if I can actually find directional, so just put it on there. All you have to do is just focus on timing. There's no PCI, and just with Dietrich as a lefty, point the left analog stick out towards the right field foul pole, and if you time it up and power swing, you're probably going to hit a home run pretty easily. It's not going to take you much time. So that's a little bit of tips I have to give you as far as the Derek Dietrich. It took me a little bit of time. This is where it gets difficult with Alex Wood, because not only are pitching moments extremely frustrating because it can be very RNG, it is completely out of your hands being you're not doing the fielding. And I know Shelfie, I saw a clip of him, his fielders made an error. It was like the last out. Same thing happened to me, except I gave up a home run, I believe, and I had to restart everything over from square one. These do take a good amount of time. For strikeouts in general, I recommend go with the changeup and curveball a bunch with him on 2-strike counts. That works really well for me. Don't really rely on the two-seam and the sinker, because the knuckle curveball gets a bunch of strikeouts on low difficulties against the computer. For me, that's what really helped me out. Also, when it gets into situations where you need a strikeout, this happened to me. They hit a slow roller back to me. Obviously, 2 outs. I need a strikeout. I didn't throw it over to first. Trying to delay the game as much as possible. Again, sometimes there's nothing you can really do to counteract that. For not giving up home runs, I just pitched the ball low in the zone more often than not. Pretty much all I'm throwing is sinkers, changeups, and curveballs low in the zone, usually throwing inside to going away, depending if it's lefty on lefty, being Alex Wood, or lefty going towards a righty. That's what I do. I don't think I might have gave up 1 home run in that entire time, but it was at the very beginning. That's really what I recommend. Low in the zone, really rely on the changeup and the curveball. Don't really think you're going to get a whole bunch of strikeouts using the two-seam and the sinker. They usually hit lows a lot more often than not. And don't be afraid. If you're in low counts, don't make the game take longer by them scoring a run because you're trying to get a strikeout, throwing it right on the corner, or trying to make a mistake and it accidentally goes down the middle. Don't be afraid to work outside. If it's an 0-2 count, especially on the veteran difficulty, for example, facing the Colorado Rockies, somebody like Trevor Story doesn't have a whole ton of vision. It's likely you're gonna go fishing in the dark, swinging willy-nilly. So that's really what I recommend as far as these go. Again, that's going to get you 15 of the way progress, and there's a couple different things that you can do now that you were not able to do before. For example, I still did the exchange, but the win a game versus Dodgers, this can be done in Conquest, so that's going to get you 5% of the way, or half more of what you need. And honestly, if you just did this, defeat the Dodgers on All-Star, you can just get it done in one game. So maybe for this one in particular, save yourself like 5-6K. It'll take you an additional 25-30 minutes, but it really depends what you value more, your time or your stubs. But that is probably the best one that you could do as far as taking not very much time. I guess you could also tally innings with Alex Wood, but I think you do need 9 innings. So that's really what we're looking at, and as long as you do all of that, you're going to get 95 Carlos Correa. And once you get him, remember, there's actually a collection. You guys told me about this on stream. I forgot about it. Make sure that you're doing this. It's, you know, always going to be there, but you're going to get some extra stuff. You get 3,000 subs, 4,500 XP for collecting these two if you already have them done, and a lightning strike sound effect. Who really cares? But they're going to add more stuff. Hopefully they're going to have like packs towards the end if you collect all 8 once the season is churning to an end. But yeah, that's the tips that I have for you guys for the May monthly award program. Get yourself this 95 Carlos Correa. Like I said, gameplay debut is going to be up in a couple of hours. Highly recommend that you guys check that out. And if you want to see more gameplay, we are going to be playing with him tonight on live stream, twitch.tv/GomesDaLegend. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people enjoy it. 5 stars on Yelp. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. There's some